I was at Tara from 2011 to 2012.
I started in 2005, graduated in 2010.
1997, and I graduated Year 12 in 1999.
And I came to Tara in 1991.
I was the head girl in 1990.
And that would have been in 1981.
From 76 to 81. I was a student back in 1975.
I came to school in 1962.
When did I begin? 1939.
My husband Richard went to Tara as a small boy.
You know, I have good, strong memories, really.
Looking back at it, it was a simplicity.
It was a much smaller school.
There were 3 classes in the one room. I remember Miss Waugh very well because she was the only teacher.
My early recollections of Miss Waugh is of the elderly lady who seemed to always wear a black collar around her throat.
And Miss Waugh started every morning by reading the editorial from the Sydney Morning Herald. Huh? And we didn't understand a word of it.
We'd meet in the street from time to time, and my mother-in-law would greet her most warmly.
But she was a hard worker, I'm sure of that.
That's my first report. My dear Mr. and Mrs. Jones, these few lines convey to you my sincere thanks for your confidence in trusting Paul's training and tuition to my care. He has made very satisfactory progress, and his conduct was good, an improvement. I don't know what I was like before.
Ruth Shatford, and I began here in 1980.
I'm Carol Bowen. I began at Tara in January 2000.
I'm Susan Middlebrook, and I'm the principal of Tara currently. Everything that we have now is because we've drawn on what's gone before. And the school's been very fortunate that we've been well managed financially, which has allowed us to build the school that we have today.
The school had a dynamic quality. It wasn't stuck in a rut. Right from the beginning, virtually every 18 months there was some new building or some change.
When I first came, it had only been on this site as a senior school for about 3 years, so it was very new. We had like one building which was like a boomerang shape, and that was about it.
When I arrived at Tara, it was just a single level school, and it was quite exciting to get a second story built.
Yes, it's been lovely to come back and to look at the school and how it's changed.
When we built the multi-purpose hall, there were no schools that had a comparable gymnasium among the girls' schools in Sydney.
We acquired the top part of Mason's Drive, and we were able to change a lot of things with that acquisition. We acquired the 5 acres from Burnside next to the block, and that's given us a lot more facilities for the future. We did major refurbishments in the junior school, the speech and drama centre, to the music areas, to sporting facilities, improved the gardens and the access and the boarding school.
The school's been very fortunate that we've been well led by fabulous Christian women and governed by school councils who have focused on the now and planning for the future.
You can see the things happening that we planned for way back 2000, 2001.
Completing the chapel last year was part of that vision.
Coming back to Tara today, I was driven in by my future daughter-in-law, and I said to her, this is the beautiful new chapel that we worked for so long to build for Tara. And I said, Susan Middlebrook's actually achieved it.
It'll be a space, I think, that will be used by generations of Tara girls and their families.
It began probably even way before Ruth, and it's been a dream for members of the Tara community for I don't know how long.
You see the girls walk in there and they settle, like it means something to them.
We focused on the quality of learning rather than being competitive and trying to get people in on the very top rungs of the HSC.
The girls who I feel most happy about are the ones who reach their potential. It mightn't be the top mark, but they do very well, and that makes me happy.
As an old girl, I just remember like having the growth mindset really instilled too. So it's more like you've got time to work on skills and progress as an academic learner.
The teachers talk about the girls with joy about their learning.
And I think that's really borne out in the confidence I had to pursue the career I hold now as a Member of Parliament, and I don't think I'd be there without that investment in me in those days.
My daughter Cregan was at Tara. She says to me, it's because of my time at Tara I'm doing so amazingly now.
We were able to put together a really good team, really took pride in what they did, that worked so hard to get the girls up to become the people that they had the potential to be.
I remember too the way I was often aware of what staff would do for students.
When I was in Year 7, Miss Claridge, who was the original principal of Tara, and she was a special lady, Miss Claridge. On her retirement day, she had all the students line up, and one by one she said her farewells to us, and she knew every single girl.
He just cared. Everyone just cared. I think that's the thing. Everyone just cares so much about you as a person, and you don't get that everywhere.
We had a lot of people who would have done anything for the girls in our care. I'm still very moved by knowing that. Making community in a school stays with you.
If you've got to take something away that Tara does that I think is a little bit unique,
It builds lifelong friendships.
it brings lifelong friendships.
Yeah. A lot of my life has been at Tara. This is my 33rd year.
When I started at Tara, I had a few friends in Sydney, but essentially Tara became my Sydney family and is still my Sydney family.
Still very friendly with a lot of people from here, have lunch with them on a regular basis, see them on a regular basis.
I think that's the thing about Tara. Every year the girls are lovely. I keep in touch with some of them.
Many years later, after being a Tara girl, I found myself employed by Tara with some of my old teachers.
It's been nice for me to reconnect with girls that I went to school with and see them as mums come to Tara as well.
And that goes on long after you've left school. I can't go anywhere and someone will tap me on the shoulder and say, "Hello, Mrs. Marshall, do you remember me?"
I was approached by one this morning as I arrived at the school, and she came up to me and she said, "You were my principal when I was here," and she has now the youngest student coming into the school, and she's delighted, and it was great to see her.
It was fun growing up.
But the girls had lovely friends from Tara.
I want to say happy birthday, Tara, 120 years. It's a real feat.
I'm really impressed with Tara. I always was.
To see it grow to what it is today, you should be proud of the school.
You can feel it as you walk in the gate. The values of the school are still being reflected, and I'm thrilled about that.
Sue is very generous the way she invites me to things, and every so often she will ring and say, "I wanted to run something by you," or "Can you tell me the history of this?" And it assures me that she's still anchored in the culture and the care that we tried to develop.
Giving me some of those skills and confidence to really see the potential that I had and then pursue it was life-changing.
I'm just so privileged to have worked here for such a long time. I don't ever wake up in the morning and think I don't want to go to work. It's such a lovely environment to come to each day.
I'm down in the junior school now. I'm watching all these lovely little faces pass my window every day. I'm just so proud of my school.
I still thank Tara for everything, because that was the beginning.